Welcome to the Recruiter Startup Podcast. My name's Dualta Doherty, and in this podcast series, I will be speaking to investors, advisors, entrepreneurs, and recruiters who are based all over the world, and we'll be discussing how to set up, scale, and operate a world-class recruitment company. Today, I'm speaking to Erkan Ozlav. He's from Turkey, he lives in London, he's been working for Analytica Resources for almost 7 years, and what makes his story interesting and his company interesting is that he and everybody else in the company work from home. And if that's not impressive enough that they're able to do that and do it well, they also work roles all over the world. So a large part of his day is spent filling roles and winning business in America, in the Middle East, in Asia, all over. I think he said he's placed in 17 countries, similar to myself actually on that. And it was really cool to see that there's somebody doing what I'm doing in Rec to Rec, but doing it in IT, which is further up the food chain in recruitment terms, in my view. So really enjoyed speaking to him, and having been an IT recruiter, it was good for me to kind of get a taste of how things have evolved in the 4 years that I've been out of IT recruitment. So hope you enjoy the chat I had with Erkan, and I got quite a bit from it. Quite inspiring that they're doing this. So let me know what you think, and if you could send this podcast to a recruiter, that would be so great. Thanks so much. Happy hunting. Erkan, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very good today. Yeah, great. Where am I calling in the world?
I am right now in London. I'm right now in London. Yeah. So I originally for sale from Turkey, actually. But it was 13 years ago I moved to London and never looked back since. So yeah, it's become a British citizen as well. So yeah, here we are.
Good man. So tell me, how did a young Turkish man end up moving to the UK?
Yeah, that was a bit of a story in its own, to be honest, because my background actually before recruitment is in media. So I was working for a TV channel in Turkey, and we had the rights to show Premier League in Turkey. So I was kind of working there as a production assistant, but deep down, I always wanted to kind of go abroad and study. So the kind of back then, so I've decided that if we were working for Premier League, might as well go to England, and London was an option. So here we are.
And was being from Turkey?
Yeah.
Is London, like, when I'm from regional Ireland, and New York's a bit of a dream for people to get to. San Francisco. Does London hold a strong place for people in the East to get to?
Well, I mean, it's close to home. Put it that way. It's only 4 hours flight for me to go to Turkey, and it was kind of a plan for me to kind of go to US at some point, but London was a lot closer, and having an opportunity to kind of do my job for that TV channel here in London was kind of an option as well. So that ticked the boxes for me. But
don't close the door on that USA dream. I can get you there, pal. You've come to the right place.
I was recently in New York, actually, back in May this last year. So that was it was really interesting. Big place. I loved it. I'll definitely go back and visit for sure.
How was your English when you arrived first?
It was good. It was good because in my family, my dad used to work for the American Air Force, so he was working for the U.S. Air Force for 30 years or so. Yeah, so in Incirlik Air Base, this is one of the biggest air bases they have in the Middle East, and he was working there as an accountant finance team, so he was with the American people all the time. So his English was great.
Were you an army brat?
Not really. No. He was in the military, so he wasn't kind of on the civilian side. but he was working very closely with the army, of course. Yeah, he was in the military side. So, in my family, you kind of have to speak a little bit of English. Even my mom speaks English good. So,
so you kind of have had anglicized American influences from a very young age, then.
I did. I mean, two people in our family has got a very strong accent. So everyone said that I have a very strong British accent, and my father has an American accent, like massively. So,
very good.
Yeah.
So you came over to the UK to work in media.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I don't see you on Sky Sports presenting Monday Night Football. What happened?
To be honest, I've did that in Turkey. So I was working for a company called TV8, and we had the rights to show the Premier League and then all the other European highlights. So I've done that for a year. So it literally my whole life was football. As a 20-year-old lad, working in that area. So it's really, really fun. And I've decided to come to London to study English, and I did that job here as well a little bit. But then, I wanted to my dream was actually to work in filmmaking, so as a filmmaker. So that's the kind of route that I wanted to take. And
you've made it to the big time now. You're on the Recruiter Startup podcast, so. Your younger self will be happy with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the dream. That was the dream. I've actually studied filmmaking. I've done a number of further courses in like London Film Academy, one of the best ones in the country. But the kind of things didn't work. I got married quite at a young age as well. I was 21, 22 actually. I think 13 years ago. So 2021 when we got married. So the life take a bit of can take a different turn when you get married that early, and then you got more responsibilities, etc.
Yeah.
So here we are.
There you go. And when your dreams doesn't work out, do you know what happens?
No.
The recruitment world opens their arms to you. We take everybody in. Everybody gets a shot.
Absolutely. To be honest, it was something that I had in mind years ago. It wasn't something I've decided overnight, Dualta. I mean, I met, this was, I think, 10, 11 years ago. I went out with a friend of mine, and he introduced me to two guys that looked very successful, very happy in their job. And they told me about recruitment. And back then, I was trying to break into filmmaking and media industry, and I had one to help me. Guidance and hold my hand and say, hey, this is how you do it. This is what we can put you forward to the jobs, etc. And they told me about their roles. And I thought, well, hold on, recruitment, that sounds great. I mean, if I can help someone get a job or get company hire somebody, I can do that. I'm good with people, so why not proceed as a career? And they told me actually, they said, look, you can do this. But, first of all, I didn't really kind of pursue that because I was on the media side. So, but then I thought, okay, this is something I could definitely do, and I can see myself doing, and see how my career is going to pan out. And well, here we are, 7 years in, and loving it.
So 7 years, and you've been at the one company. That's really interesting.
Yes. So, and Analytical Resources, they gave me the chance to start my career in recruitment, and I really appreciate the opportunity. And I built something here, to be honest, from scratch, and they were my second interview. So I only had one interview before them and didn't get the job. But the funny thing is that the company didn't hire me, reached out to me 3 times afterwards to hire me after.
Oh, of course. Of course. We welcome everybody in with open arms, especially when they have experience.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you're an IT recruiter.
I work in technology. That's right. So we do, my specialty is in IT service management, sort of cloud area. And so we work with some really big consulting companies, professional service organizations worldwide. So we're based in London, but I personally have made placements in over 17 countries. And as a company, we made in over 57 worldwide.
So you're working the global marketplace.
Yeah.
From London.
That's right.
But really, you could be doing it from Turkey if you wanted, right?
I can do from anywhere, Dualta. That's the good thing about our company and our job is that, we currently don't have an office. We kind of gave away our office on August. And because we decided, because everyone in the company is experienced. We're a small team anyway. Everyone here is quite experienced and they know exactly what they're doing. So we decided, okay, why don't we kind of try to put this Project Freedom into place and see how we get on working from home. And believe it or not, it worked out so much better. We are more productive and a lot more flexible. And without even realize, you put more hours into your work.
Do you think that would work if you guys didn't have so much experience?
It's very hard because, when you're hiring somebody to your team and if they need to be trained, and of course, it's really good to have them on your side, if you work in the same office. Because working from home is great, but it can have its disadvantages because you can easily lose your focus easily. And there's no one around you to tell you that, well, what are you doing? That can be really challenging. So, you really need to keep a straight head when you're working from home.
So walk me through what your day looks like from working from home, and how does the company support you? Like, how does that work if you're not going into an office?
I mean, we do meet regularly. So we definitely meet. We meet regularly once a week or once every 2 weeks. Definitely meet to talk about where we are and what we're doing and just kind of get together. And then we do have monthly drinks anyway as well. But we kind of structured everything in a way that we have a database and we use SharePoint. So everything that we have is on the cloud, so it can be accessible from anywhere as long as you got your laptop and internet. And we have a kickoff meeting at 8:30 in the morning, regardless, just to kind of have a quick chat to see what's everyone doing today, what are the plans, and then we kind of talk pretty much every 10 minutes throughout the day anyway, because you have a Skype and you have your mobile number, etc. So it's very easy to kind of connect.
So you have that sense of community and belonging throughout the day.
Absolutely.
With the other team members. Are you all working different niches? Are you working roles together? How does that work from a workflow perspective?
We do. I mean, everybody has got their own kind of clients they work with, and I've got my colleague who helps me with my accounts. So we kind of talk every time that he needs my help, and we have a very good sort of working structure. They got their own clients, but they help me out with my roles as well. So we have very regular meetings and calls to make sure that like you said, to have that really close knit community kind of feeling. Because working from home, you can get lonely, but in our job, you can never get lonely. I mean, I'm working from home, but I mean, I travel to meet clients and candidates, not just in the UK, outside UK as well. I mean, I was lucky enough to go to Barcelona, outside of France, to Germany a number of times for meetings, etc. So you can never get bored because you talk to people worldwide. So yeah.
When we look at the desk that you're running,
yeah,
how many different role types are you doing?
Quite a few actually. I mean, my roles mainly across professional services and consulting areas. So we actually do. I mean, 75% of our roles right now is in the sales side, so technology sales, and which is kind of covering EMEA. And so we have made a lot of placements in Latin America for our clients in North America. So professional services, consulting roles in the technology space, and technology sales is our core niche.
That doesn't sound like a niche. That sounds like a Goliath of different things. Like, how do you like have a look at that and go, this is what I'm going to focus on. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to build my database. Or is it reactionary as to where you pick up jobs?
I mean, it might sound like we have, not have a niche, but we work with in a certain areas of professional services, consulting, but the technologies that we work with are same or very similar. So okay. I specialize in IT service management and sort of digital transformation space. So mainly we work across that technologies with people with that kind of skill set and expertise. So, we're not the kind of an agency that can take any job. We don't work that way. We're kind of specialized in that certain areas, and now we kind of focus on that.
Okay, so it's within ITSM, and it could be people selling ITSM projects.
That's right.
To tech companies and to normal companies, right?
Yes, I mean, ITSM is one. I mean, mainly we kind of work with companies that sell their services and solutions to enterprise clients. And also we work with a lot of telecommunication software companies that sell their solutions to telecommunication companies, like large networks. And that's actually because our company's roots is in the telecommunication. So
Okay.
we have been specializing in OSSPS, which is operation and business support system. So that's what our core area. Telecommunications is actually kind of where we kind of grow the business from.
Okay, so telecommunications, and then ITSM within that, and then within that it's IT sales.
Exactly.
Okay, very good. So there is a niche there. We just had to dig around
Yeah.
to get it out of you.
Yeah.
All right, good. And how do you go about winning business if you're at the kitchen table? Like do you bring product to market? Is there any type of special marketing? Are you flying around trying to win business? Is it built over a long period of time, or can you kind of walk us through what that looks like?
I mean, if I was to tell you this, you probably won't believe me, but I haven't made a cold call in about 5 years.
Yeah, neither have I.
I haven't made maybe
but
6
that's
years.
really good for IT.
Yeah.
Talk to me
Yeah.
about that.
I mean, I haven't actually needed to make a cold call in the last 5, 6 years of my career, and I've been on it 7 years. I mean, for me, what's important is the relationship that I have with my clients. And to be honest, majority of the companies I work with have been acquired by much larger organizations. And based on my relationship, based on the service that we provided to them, and they were very happy to kind of take us with them to those big organizations. And I think once you're actually working with the clients in certain roles, and that kind of develops into other areas, and majority of my business comes from referrals and recommendations from the clients before even me asking, because they see the service that we provide and the quality of the placements that we make, and the clients recommended to the other clients within the organization, and they come to us, and we kind of grow from there.
And on the candidate side, I take it you've been building a database over a long period of time.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Why would you say your company hasn't grown? Because it sounds like you've got a great offering.
I mean, we have recruited a number of people last year, but they were all trainees. They didn't really work out for us, and the market was a bit shaky. Right now, our plan is to kind of grow the business this year again, and try to be the best boutique tech recruitment company out there. So that's the goal, that ambition we have for the 2019 and 2020.
I think that's an interesting plan, and I believe in remote working.
Yeah,
I believe in actually all the things that you guys are doing. It sounds great. I think people struggle to hire in new people into a business unless there's a central hub.
Yeah.
Have you guys developed any thoughts or any practices around how you can bring in new people in, or is it more just around maybe attracting experienced recruiters in that want freedom?
We definitely want to bring experienced people on board going forward, Dualta. But again, that depends on the quality of the people that we can find. If I have somebody who has got a good experience in sales or customer service, even technology-related work, then we'll be happy to look at them and talk to them and to see if they're really interested in this kind of a role. And also that's again work in progress, but we are thinking of kind of having a pilot kind of an office. So that we have a hub, like you said, so to meet once or twice a week. So that's not really hard to find in London. There's so many options that you can choose from for that. So that's kind of work in progress. But I think what we would like to do is to have a sort of like a pilot office where we can get together once or twice a week, and then just kind of have people working remotely.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'd like to see it put into practice.
Yeah,
and to see, like, I get it for the experienced people who've earned the right, like you have.
Yeah, true.
Because your work's going to snowball over years, like it has, and like I would trust people who've been doing that for a long time. But to bring somebody in from scratch, to get them up and running, to make sure that they're doing the right things from a behavior perspective, that's tough.
It is.
It's a tough ask.
Yeah. It is. Again, like I said, it depends on the people that we want to hire, and depends on the people that we can find, and if it's more importantly, it's if they're fit into our culture. We love what we do. For us, the quality always better than quantity. That's why the people that we've been working with keep coming back to us. I mean, my longest client relationship is more than 6 years, and I've only been in the business for 7 years. I think so we are going to need people that can fit into our culture. And once we find that, then, you know, we can provide that environment for them. So,
here's a tough question for you.
yeah.
If I'm in your shoes, right?
Sorry.
If I'm in your shoes,
Okay.
I'd be thinking to myself, I've got a good grasp of this. I've got.
I think I know where this is coming from.
I've got nearly 7 years of this. I'm working from home.
Yeah.
We don't have a massive advertisement budget. I don't really need one because, you know, we get a lot of stuff from referrals. I've been building up this database. Why don't I just go back to Turkey for a few months, chill out, and then set up my own business once my restrictions go?
You know, that's an option, but I have a very good setup right now that I don't need to do that, really. You know, I mean, I've been given a chance, an opportunity to build my own business here. I've done that. I'm quite a loyal person, put it that way, as well. But, you know, a thought that sometimes comes across your mind, but I kind of never needed to pursue that just yet.
You're a better man than me. I'd be thinking about that all day. All day. I'd be chewing my table, so I would.
And honestly, because, you know, my director, we have a lot of flexibility. We've been given the opportunity to kind of go and run your own business. And we're not a KPI-driven company. We don't have anybody asking us every hour how many CVs you've sent, how many interviews you've done. We're really mature. And so we don't believe in micromanagement, you know.
You don't have to sell me, Erkan.
You looking for a job?
Do you know what? I would have been great for this 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But...
you never know, though, right? You never know.
You never know. But when I was at a big agency and I was a killer IT recruiter, this type of thing would have suited me quite well.
Yeah.
It's when you're a bit too far down the entrepreneurial path.
Yeah.
It's hard to visualize what that would look like working for somebody else.
Yeah.
But look, this is the type of thing that if there wasn't a way that I had to go back, this would be something that would be of interest for sure, because you're offering a bit of experience and all the rest, and the remote stuff and all the stuff that I believe in. So you wouldn't set up your own business because you have bought into the loyalty and what's been provided by the company and the culture. What do you think? How could you recreate something like that? What is it? If you could bottle that what is it that makes you want to stay and not cash in on all the experience you've had? Because you could cash in now.
Yeah.
Like this would be an easy setup for you. 6-month holiday in Turkey, set up your own business, away you go.
Yeah.
Like, there must be something that they've done right over the years to get for you to be defending everything that this company means to you.
I think the one thing that they've done right, and the most important thing for me, is that they have the belief in me. You know, they trusted me to give me the chance, and then they actually gave me a kind of opportunity to go on and create my own desk and business. You know, I was never questioned in terms of the clients I wanted to work with or the clients I was working with. I was warned maybe a number of times, say, hey, maybe you shouldn't work with this person or that client because X, Y, Z reasons, you know, how he's in business. But, you know, when someone has got the trust and belief in you and they give you the opportunity to kind of go out and bring it home, you know. So that's what's important for me, to be honest. And, you know, I like the stability, and, you know, I get approached twice a day, maybe, for other companies, but I never kind of needed to kind of investigate other options. You know, I'm quite happy here. And I think as a company, we built a really good name as a brand name, you know, and the company we have is small, but like I said, I mean, probably the combined headcount of the clients I'm working with right now is over 800,000 people, you know, and their revenues could be reaching about 100 billion, you know, and that's serious, that. So once you kind of build that reputation for yourself and for your company, and sometimes it's just not really easy to give up. So
for sure, it's your baby at this stage as well, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like I said, I easily can say this is my business. You know, this is the business that we built, and I'm really lucky enough to work with some extremely talented people, clients and candidates, and I still do. And I've been lucky enough to be actually called this my business. It's true, yeah. And I was allowed to do that by my boss. So
very good. I've noticed that that you've liked a lot of James Osborne's posts on LinkedIn. Are you guys part of the recruitment network?
We are actually, yes. I met James a number of times. He's a brilliant trainer, and he has contributed a lot.
He's very James Bond-like, isn't he?
He is, but he's great. I mean, the whole team at TRN is fantastic, to be honest, because I actually got sent to Trailblazers a group as well. So I've graduated from the Trailblazers, next generation recruitment leaders. Had a fantastic time there for a year, and I met with some great people from different agencies. And James, he came to us as an advisor / trainer a few years ago.
What did you take away? What was the biggest learnings? I've never had any for my own business, but I've had him on the podcast.
To be honest, he's the kind of a guy that look, Erkan, if you want something, just get it done. Just get it done. Just go out and get it done. Basically, the one thing that I picked up from him was just like, if you really want to get something done, just do it. And James is a really, really smooth and straight talking person as well. That's what I like. And he's got a lot of experience. And some of the things that he's done is really clever in terms of his marketing strategies, etc. So, that's one thing that I took from him. I mean, the Trailblazer group that I've been, we had a lot of sort of speakers and trainers that came to us, and it was fantastic. I mean, TRN actually, it's one of the best out there.
Does it just kind of make you feel like you're part of something bigger?
Absolutely.
Because I think especially when you're working from home, right, you can feel a bit isolated at times, and I suppose getting to get in the mix and see what other people are doing, and getting confirmation maybe that some of the stuff you're doing is right and some stuff could be tweaked, and that I can imagine that would be valuable.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, I never kind of feel isolated, although I'm working from home, because it's the kind of an office environment that we have here. I mean, I travel, so I go out to meet people quite often. I've traveled to exhibitions in London because I work in technology. So for me, understanding what technologies I'm working with is really, really important. So, I'm kind of quite tech savvy. I think you have to be if you work in the technology as a recruiter. And I go travel, I take days to go to Germany or some other countries. So sometimes visit clients. I've been to Amsterdam, a few other countries. So, so kind of, I never feel isolated, really. You're working. I mean, more importantly, I work with a lot of people who work from home anyway. I work with.
You're all in it together, right?
Exactly. I always work with people that 50% of their time actually they're at home anyway.
And when you're recruiting for people all over the world, I suppose I kind of know some of these answers because I was an IT recruiter. But are you moving them geographically, or
yes, I have. I mean, like I said,
what percentage would be from local to local market?
I mean,
moving.
The funny thing is, I mean, I've recruited a lot of people from Europe to UK before Brexit. But
you'll be sending them all home now.
After Brexit, not so much. But we've done a lot of recruitment actually. I moved people from one country to another. I moved people to Dubai. I moved people to Sweden. I moved people to UK from different countries in Europe. So we've done a lot of that. But we usually kind of trying to find local candidates in local countries. I mean, as in the countries, So
when I was in Australia, they didn't rate any experience outside of Australia. It was all about like, they need to have 6 months Australian experience before we're gonna consider them, which is mad.
No, we didn't. I mean, I've placed people to some really big professional services companies in UK, and the guys didn't have any UK work experience, but they do now, and they're a lot more valuable. I mean, those guys took the risk to invest in them, and now they probably have more clients told after their employees. So.
And is it contract or perm that you focus on?
I do mainly permanent, but of course we do contract as well, business. Yeah. So, but my business is mainly on the permanent side.
Are you able to kind of flex your rates depending on the market? I would say the rates are better in Central Europe than they are over here, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we kind of tend to set the rates straight before we engage with any recruitment projects. So, I mean, depending on the locations, but they tend to be good. In UK, I think we have now a lot more competition, and the people tend to lower the quality, unfortunately, as much as you don't want to. But there's a new recruitment company coming to Horizon every day. So the competition is tough in UK, and I think the industry is going to grow massively over the years, especially in the technology area.
It sounds like you've got a good foothold into the international place. That'll be your point of difference, right?
Absolutely. I love it. I mean, I could have just made a placement in Australia. And then last week, I think he made a placement in Singapore, and it's based in London. And I have made placement in Singapore and Dubai. And so I made some placements in Colorado. I've just done a placement in Florida. I've made the placement in LA with a candidate who was based in LA, in New York. So, yeah, I mean, having to talk about this to people on a worldwide basis is fantastic. I mean, I love it. I can never just do local. I mean, I need to kind of talk to people in different countries and different skill sets. And
that's the best thing about the job. I do the exact same thing. We move people to all over. I've placed Chinese people in China, actually.
Yeah.
but yeah, mainly Australia and the US and Singapore and Hong Kong a bit as well. But yeah, look, this is all really fascinating. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
And yeah, sounds like a great business. Sounds like you're onto a great thing, and it's great that there's loyal people out there like you that people can build their business around, and not just sharks like myself who are always thinking about themselves. So,
well, I'm a shark. I'm probably a shark to most people, right? So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. Good man. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Take care.
Thank you, Dualta. Thank you, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.